Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Noel Zone. It'd be great if I actually added myself, wouldn't it? That would actually be a great start to the stream if I actually added myself to the stream. Anyway, hope everybody is doing very well indeed. Interesting day, folks. Interesting day. Seems like some people just, can't let go. They can't let go. It's very sad. Very, very sad. But that's the way it is. That's the way it is. And of course, I'm not alone this week, uh, as usual. Everything is acting the bollocks because I got the AirPods in. I have to give it another go, or it's a waste of money. But anyway, yeah, I have to give them a go. So let's hope we don't have any. The trailer played okay, believe it or not, for a change. So that's something, I suppose. But let's bring on my guest. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if PD is joining me tonight or Friday, but he did say he was available. I just have loads of things going on. I half read the message. So, PD, if you're listening, I'm sorry. I don't know whether it's tonight or Friday. You're going to be back, but I'll check it again. But I'm not alone, of course. Let's bring on the guest that we do have backstage, and it's the one and only Queen Charlotte. And it's been. Did we do a stream last week? See, I'm just totally. No, we didn't. I was at the protest, then labelled by the media a right wing bigot, you know. So, and then, they tried to make up a lot of lies about us. But the thing about it is, we all recorded the protest on our phones, so we were able to break the media narrative. But it's been an interesting couple of weeks, I have to be honest with you. Just looking at everything and how the media actually manipulate things, because I seen it firsthand because I was there, and then to see how the media twist things, it's mind blowing. Oh, and he is here, so it was obviously tonight. So I let him give out to me because I wasn't really paying attention, because I got messages coming out of my ass everywhere. People sending me death threats, people congratulating me, people sending me death threats. People just I've had a bit of an interesting week. Yeah. And here, listen, I don't talk about you know what show, and all of the little bots for some weird reason have gravitated towards me again. Look at me bleeding account on X, right? I don't talk about it, right? No interest in it. I'm interested in what's going on in my country right now, and that's what my fucking Twitter account is all about. But of course, I've upset people even talking about that now, because apparently I'm one of those bad Germans. That's what we all are now, apparently. You cannot, right? I don't want this to get political, but I will just say this. It doesn't matter what side of an argument you're on, right? Or what opinion you have. If you don't have the same opinion as the radical left, forget about it, right? Just there's it's crazy. Everybody is right wing if you don't agree with them. And the weird thing is that people are not right wing. They're just concerned citizens that are speaking up about the problems that are happening in their countries. But because you do that, you're labelled a right wing bigot. I don't get it. But it is 2023. We did say, remember, in 2020 we were all here. We said it was going to get worse. I don't think we actually expected it to be as bad as it is, but it gets worse before it gets better. So 2024, if you think 2023 was a shit show, 2024 is definitely going to be a shit show, because remember, there's a certain election happening across the water. There's an election happening here as well. All hell's going to break loose. So prepare yourselves, because there's going to be some drama. But anyway, itchy eye. Let's bring on.
Hello, everybody.
There she is, Queen Charlotte. I didn't even mean to bring her on, but there I wanted to do a big introduction, but she's on. Bang.
I'm here.
See that? Didn't even mean to do that. I've been watching the IT crowd today, so I'll have twitchy fingers. Anyway, let's bring on our next guest. It's the one and only Mr. PD Rich.
I leave for a couple of weeks and it all goes to hell. What's going on?
Just about PD.
What's going on? And I said, "Hey, is that why you put that on your bio? Your bio?"
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Yeah.
No one knows what's going on.
Okay. Brilliant. Anyway, it's been a couple of weeks since we had a bit of a natter, and a lot has happened, I suppose. I'm not getting involved in that conversation. You know what? But if well, there's nobody actually in the comment section right now. It's a bit of a sad situation. So we'll just keep talking, and we'll see if. But is there anything you guys want to talk about besides that, or you just want to get it off? Yeah, I'm not getting involved though, right? I mean, I said I would allow people to talk about if they wanted to. I'm just not getting involved. I haven't seen it anyway, so I have no interest. But it's up to you yourselves, or is there anything else you want to talk about? But there is big news, actually. The writer's strike is about to end. They came to an agreement with the studios.
What have they agreed? Does anybody properly know yet?
No, I don't think so.
Apparently, they've completely caved in on the AI stuff. Completely. And that's SAG-AFTRA and the other people and the
apart. The only thing Gary from Neurotics put up an interesting post. He says it was a good deal for the writers, but a bad deal for the studios. And welcome to less TV shows or something, he said. So whatever's being struck in the deal, it must involve doing less hours and stuff. Yeah. See, this is the generation that we've raised. We've raised a bunch of fucking lazy ass.
Yeah. Or I know one thing they were pushing for was to have so many writers in a room, like whatever the show, whatever you're producing, it had to have so many writers. And maybe the studios have had to say, in order for you to have that many writers, we're going to produce less content because it's going to be really expensive.
Well, it's not.
Have.
That's it. It's not going to be cost effective. Like, these people demanding more when they've produced nothing but crap for the last few years. I just think it's a cheek. I think the studios should have stuck it out and let them feck crying about their jobs. You aren't good enough at their jobs. That's why everybody is giving out in the first place.
Yeah. Do you know who I'm peed off? Do you know who I've been supporting in this? It's not the writers. It's not the studios. It's all the technicians and the crew behind the scenes who have been put out of work because of this crap. Yeah. That's what's angered me about the whole thing. I got a friend whose video had to go back to Scotland because of it to stay with his parents. I got two friends who had lost it because their production companies have folded because of this effing strike. You don't think about that, do you, writers or studios? Do you? Sorry, ran over.
Well,
no, but they don't think of the little guy.
No.
You don't think of the little guy. That's why Tom Cruise had that. Do you remember Tom Cruise had that big rant and everybody was praising him because he was saying about the little guy, you're not thinking of the stage hand or the electrician or the fucking catering people. But he really went out and everybody actually praised him for it. And he was right to do that because nobody thinks of the little person.
No.
Because it's such a machine, isn't it? Yeah. And there's some different parts to it. And the writers only tend to think about themselves. The actors tend to think about themselves.
Yeah. It's the Axl Rose fiasco all over again, isn't it? Pretty much. Walking on stage late, keeping all the technicians and everything waiting for him. You know, this is why Sony put their foot down with him in the end. Yeah, the whole thing all over again.
But I think even whatever thing they have, whatever agreement, when that eventually does come out properly, I can't help but think studios will not be a little bit more cautious now.
Yeah,
will be a little bit more. No, we can't just let writers run away with themselves, which like they have been.
Yeah, got to. I mean, Disney. Iger said he's gonna go walk away from the culture war now, and it's like, I won't believe it when I see it.
I will. Yes, I saw that quote floating about from Iger, and I'm like, when your content actually reflects that, I will trust you.
Yeah.
When you stop doing taking all your classic stories and modernizing them, when you stop putting certain ideology things in the forefront of your kids' entertainment, then I'll start to trust you.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, exactly. It's just gone too far, and then they're trying to walk it back from the bottom of a cliff, not from the edge of the cliff, from the bottom of the cliff. If you know what I mean.
It'll be interesting to see, though. Charlotte is right, though. We don't know the details of the deal, but it'll be very interesting to see what the studios have had to concede to get these writers, these lazy, overpaid
Oh God, yeah.
hacks, in my opinion. They haven't written that decent in years, like.
No.
I'd support them if they did. You know what I mean? Because I'd say, yeah, you deserve the pay rise. You deserve better conditions. You deserve everything that comes your way. But they've done nothing but slate fans, right? Call them every name under the sun on social media. They've went to news media outlets and done their articles and all of this. And then as soon as they don't get what they want, they go crying to everybody. Yeah. I'm sorry. It will be interesting, and I'm pretty sure when we do Friday night contact on Friday, we'll probably have more details, because I think this will take up most of that conversation on Friday. Because for me, they don't deserve a cent.
No.
Not until they prove themselves. I'm sorry, but, you know, I do agree that no worker should be treated like crap, right? And they shouldn't be. But when you create a hostile environment, and they do on social media with their shit, then obviously their work environment has to be a bit hostile. So they create that environment themselves, so it's their own fault. It's their own fault. All we've ever screamed out about and asked for is for things to be written properly, written well, for characters to be well developed, and you know, you don't need all of that other nonsense in it. I mean, you can have a non-binary fucking character without having it being the focus of the fucking character. There's more to a character than their fucking sexuality or their skin color or whatever other fucking nonsense you just want to flog.
Well,
there's more to that. The more than that label that you've given them.
No, it's like Charlotte. Recently, I think it was last week, Mortal Kombat came out, and like I never play them because fighting games are not my jam, but I always enjoyed the story mode because it's popcorn, it's a bit of fun, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I like the story just love mode, it for what it is.
Yeah,
I agree.
And then in the latest game, they've basically done a reset of like the whole story again. So I was like, it'll be interesting.
They were going to do that
with the reset.
No, they were going to do that again. They mentioned that after the last one, because I played the last one. They kind of set it up so you kind of knew it was coming. They were trying to reset the whole universe, but don't tell me it's gone that way.
No, I'm praising it because I was actually like watching it, enjoying it for what it was. Like, I like the fact, and this isn't a spoiler, Johnny's gone back to being full on Hollywood in your face. I love it. Constantly talking about getting a movie deal. Like it's, and I love that. I like it when Johnny's like that in these games.
Yeah, Johnny Cage.
But there's actually a romance in it, and they didn't shout about it. And it's between two females, and it's actually done really well for a Mortal Kombat story. It's actually subtle, and they didn't shout about it. They just did it in their game, and it's actually quite sweet.
But nobody's talking about that, though. That's the point. Because they didn't make such a big deal about it, and obviously the characters are likable, nobody is talking about it in a negative way. Obviously, having in your society a couple of bigots, we all know that there's bigots and racists out there. We're not denying any of that. What we're saying is it's not as mainstream or as prevalent as everybody says that it is. It's not. It's a tiny minority, but the rest of us just want well-written characters.
I've not seen a single person have a go at this. I've not seen a single person kick up a fuss. And I actually was a really pleasant surprise because, like I said, this is Mortal Kombat. And I was like, no, actually, you buy the two female characters. It's actually, they have some really sweet little moments. And the story just has it. And it's nice. And for me, that's what you do. You don't make, like you said, that being their one character trait. They've got plenty of other traits.
Mm.
And they actually, even though it's a game, so that it's not actors, they actually have nice little, for the VOs, it would be the better. For the voice actors, they actually have a bit of chemistry. I don't know if they recorded together or whatever. They probably didn't, because that's a rarity for voice actors to actually record in a booth together. They usually do their lines and then they just get put in the game. But it's nice. And it was such, like I said, and I quite enjoyed the Mortal Kombat 1 story. I was just like, yeah, it's funny. And there's even some little jabs about Hollywood with Johnny. Like little things of him talking about, oh, I'll definitely get a streaming deal and stuff like that. So little digs. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I like about this universe. It's fun.
Yeah, you can also get the Turtles, because Mark brings up Freddy is in Mortal Kombat. Yeah, you can also get the Turtles in it as well. It's a pack. Well, that was in the last Mortal Kombat game. So yeah, I used to love playing the Turtles games years ago. So to have the Turtles in Mortal Kombat would be great.
Collection. I got the Cowabunga collection cheap. It's really good.
No way.
And they threw in the Contra anniversary collection as well for free, and for about 20 quid on Steam at the moment. Bloody good deal.
I could play all them for nothing on my PS subscription. I paid for the extra, and I could play all them for nothing.
Yeah.
I could play that Turtles game. I just haven't played it yet. Is it any good?
Yeah. 60% off on Steam at the moment for the Cowabunga collection. As I said, they threw the Country collection in for free as well. So
I'm gonna have to take a look at that.
Yeah.
Gonna have to take a look at that.
23 quid or something stupid like that. It was well worth a buy. I've been playing it all week. Can't put it down.
The classic games are the best games,
yeah.
so you get hooked.
You see all the differences between the SNES version, the Mega Drive version, the arcade version. It's brilliant. It's
madness.
Oh, I didn't know that, TARDIS, that this character was known to be bi. No, I didn't know that, so it makes sense.
Yeah. I was going to say...
Oh my God.
Go on.
Lee is just at the sending me something funny. Right. This is actually on... Is this on eBay? Yeah, someone is selling this on eBay. I did not. It's B&M Doctor Who 13 Doctor Companion Yaz variant, loose new custom fodder. It's 11 quid. And it's a plank of wood. Someone put a plank of wood and put that in. It's a plank of wood, folks.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I know I said it, but that was just too funny not to mention. Lee just sent that to me there. And by the way, Lee is doing a lot better, folks.
That's
he should
good.
be
That's good.
back with us soon. It's still, he's still a bit tired. He's got lots of work to do, and he even took some time off Twitter, but he's back on Twitter again now. So he lets me know. So, and the last time, which was yesterday, actually now, because he's tweeting now, but yesterday he said he's on the mend. So just to let you know, because I know some people in the chat were wondering where Lee was, because he hasn't been here the last few Fridays. He will be back when he's better. Simple as that. So just in case anybody thinks we've fallen out or something, because do you remember the last time we went missing a couple of years ago? Do you remember? And everybody thought we fell out. And we were worried as well, but everybody thought we fell out.
No, he was.
Me and Lee never fall out. It takes something really, really serious for me and Lee to fall out. Apparently, she's been bi since the 90s. It was only alluded back then. It was confirmed in the 2010s. It doesn't matter anyway. Nobody gives a shit. She's a good character. Yaz the Plank, LOL. Yeah, do you remember the little thing that I put together for that Yaz the Plank? Just remember that? That was funny. Is Lee doing okay? He is. He had the coof. So he's been getting better, basically. But he's been on the mend. He's been on the for a while. It's like he says it is bad when you get it. Like he's not going to lie. He said it knocked him for 6. and he was feeling tired quite a lot. But he's coming back. He's tweeting away and posting away now. So he's getting, trust me, he's getting back to himself. He wouldn't be on Twitter and having these rants.
And it was nice, because we did our Type 40R stream about the trailer, and he was in the comments. So it's lovely that he was just taking the mick, having fun.
Yeah, he's just floating about. He is doing his thing. But I can't believe someone would actually put that up. Fucking hell.
Must have got
whoever that is. I don't know who you are, but whoever you are, you're a fucking legend.
Yeah,
you're a fucking legend. Someone should have done that a long time ago. Yeah, there you go. Took you out for 2 weeks. Yeah, it's taken Lee out for a while as well. That it just happens.
Must have
anyway. Rachel Ziegler seems to be in a spot of bother because apparently she might be getting recast for in Paddington. Paddington 3 is coming out, and apparently they might be recasting her because she's become a bit of a PR disaster. Well, here's my response to that. Dude, Jesus Christ, man. She's a walking as soon as she opens her mouth, for God's sake. She's tanked Snow White anyway.
It's dead on arrival.
I mean, it's dead in the water. Just watch the original, I say, folks. It's the best one anyway.
Disney has to release the original again now. It's dead.
Well, she's tanked that. So, you know what I mean? Studios, every movie she's been in, actually, and you can actually check this. Every movie she's been in has been a flop. So, you know, why you'd want to keep casting her. You know, she seems to be a bit of a bad luck charm. Just sometimes it's just best to leave these actors and actors alone that keep tanking your movies, you know?
Yeah.
And I think as well, with obviously, I think this is rumour, isn't it? Nothing's been confirmed yet. The other bit that makes me think maybe with the Paddington stuff is those movies have got their audience's families.
Yeah.
It's like family, wholesome, like the most. I never watched them, and I need to because I've heard so many good things about these movies. But I've heard so many people say they're just lovely and fuzzy and like feel good movies. And her personality we've seen so far in interviews is the exact opposite of that. So I can see why, if it's a possible reason why this could happen, just PR wise, why they want her gone.
She'll start trying to return Paddington to Peru, wouldn't she?
She'd probably call it like cultural misappropriation or something.
Yeah. Doesn't belong here. You better take him back to Peru.
Just don't cast her in those movies, man. This is just as simple as that. I don't think you should be casting that woman in that until she learns how to, you know, or someone in our PR department needs to talk to her. You know, you know, our job is to be an actress, right? Our job is not to come on and say, oh yeah, I'm in this thing called Snow White, but you know what, I did like it because 1930s is a bit sexist and all this other shite. So my version is going to be a woke version, and you know, I'm not really Snow White, as you can tell, you know. And we've got 6 diversity hires, and we decided to bring in 1 small person because we can't be bothered bringing in, like, you know, all the other small people, and you know, we decided then what we're going to do is we're going to race swap one of them as well, because you know, this is just, we want to prove that their version is the better version.
Yeah, and also don't forget, I don't have a love interest. He can even be written out. If we want, and he's a stalker in the original. We don't need him.
Yeah, he's a stalker. Yeah. And he kissed her without consent and all of this sort of rubbish and crap and 2023 bollocks.
I've seen the meme for that one. It's hilarious. He goes,
yeah, I know. He throws a bucket of water over her face or something.
No, he just leaves her and she just rots.
All right, there's another one I said where he throws a bucket of water over her face. Like she's lying there and he throws a bucket of water over her face. That's what he'll have to do, you know, because he can't kiss her. You know?
He goes, no, I can't take the risk on this one. Walks away and just see a body.
You know, but even throwing water over her face is not going to work, because the whole point of the magic spell is he has to kiss her, like, you know, but they forget the whole thing with the story there. So even that part is fucked. Like, you know, you might as well just leave her there, call her Sleeping Beauty too, because she's never fucking waking up.
Yeah. Rip Van
No,
Winkle.
here's another point, right? After her comments about the prince, how awkward is that fella gonna feel doing junkets with her now? Like having to sit next to her. And he'll probably be like, oh, like, yeah, romance, all that. And you've got her, who's just this horrible modern day feminist who can't stand a bloke even looking at her, let alone.
His agent will be sending them to these classes how to deal with a fucking feminist. Right?
Yeah.
This is how you behave around a feminist. This is how you answer a feminist.
How
right?
to be a good ally in interviews.
Yeah,
it's just gonna be
fucking
poor
hell, the
bloke.
poor bloke. I know. They never think of the poor fucking blokes in these situations. Like a raging fucking feminists. Get away. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's a fucking
what
fairy
would be
tale, man.
clever? If in the junkets he's with Gal Gadot.
Yes, the wicked
Yeah.
stepmother. You know, the wicked stepmother. Like
Because
she's
probably going to
absolutely.
be a better partner in interviews for
She's
her.
a goddess. She's a goddess. Like I can't even take her seriously as a wicked stepmother because she's just a goddess. Like, do you know what I mean? Doesn't I don't? I think she's being miscast. I'm not messing. I'm serious.
Totally.
She's just too nice to be, and I don't mean wise. She has a lovely person. She's just too nice to be a wicked stepmother. I just don't see her as one. But she'll probably bleed and blow us all away. She'd probably be the best thing about this bleeding version of Snow White.
Well, she's.
No, do you want to hear a joke? Do we want to hear a joke? If it's kind of a joke now, like, you know, you got to behave yourself. It is.
Google's watching
like,
you, chat. Be careful.
YouTube and Google. No. I mean, if it's a genuinely funny joke or a dad joke, go ahead. Do you want to hear a joke? Feminism. All right, that's the joke. All right, yeah, you're right. That is a fucking joke. Feminism is a joke. Because everything that the new wave feminism stands for is actually to deconstruct women. You know, it seems to be a jealousy brigade with the feminists, you know, because their lives are all shitty. They want all the other women in the world to feel as shitty as they do by telling them that they don't have rights and all of this bollocks. Get the fucking boat. Women had came a long way in our society till you loopers came along and ruined it all for them, which is our Me Too movements and all of these other fucking stupid movements that she's come out with. And don't get me wrong, Me Too started off as a genuine thing to get rid of these scummers, right? And we were all down for it. But then, like everything, it gets hijacked by these little radical, jealous little fucking women that'll never get a proper man. So they take it out on everybody else and then start pointing fingers at innocent fucking people, which we've seen over the years. Anyway, what's this? Someone sent me a private chat.
That's all I'm going to say about it.
When do you think they're going to dare to drop a trailer for this Snow White?
Oh, no, but by looking, I mean, we saw the promotional images and they tried to deny that they were the promotional images, that they were only a mock-up. So why have them in a mock? I mean, it makes no sense. It's going to be a train wreck. I mean, the trailer itself is probably going to be one of the most scrutinized. Like, just as bad as the 2016 version of Ghostbusters, this trailer is going to be spoken about on everybody's channel. It's going to be dissected. Everything, every piece of dialogue is going to be analyzed. I don't know how Disney get out of this one. You know, there was talk maybe they could cancel the movie, but here's the thing. It's all well and good cancelling the movie, but if you cancel a movie that literally started off the Disney brand, right? So this movie is obviously an updated version of the very first movie. If you cancel that movie, that has catastrophic consequences. So while they probably want to do it behind closed doors, they won't. They'll release this movie. They might try save face by putting it straight to streaming service, because that's. But I wouldn't be putting this in the cinemas. I mean, you'll embarrass yourself.
I think
You
they
will
have
embarrass
to.
yourself. I don't know. Maybe they could get away because Disney Plus. They could put it on their Disney Plus streaming service. They've done that. Remember, during the pandemic, they did that straight to streaming service. All of the
Yeah.
streaming
Yeah.
companies actually did that. So they could save face that way, because then they can manipulate the numbers and say, oh, well, 7 million people in the US watched Snow White and the 7 diversity horrors.
Do you know what I've got a feeling they might do? I think they'll release it in theaters, but it's going to be like a flash situation where incredibly quickly it goes onto streaming.
Yeah.
Like give
yeah.
it 2 or 3 weeks
Yeah.
and then straight onto Plus.
They'll try recoup some money off it, but they're making a loss on this anyway, just like they did with The Little Mermaid. Sure, they re-released The Little Mermaid with the karaoke version now to try and make some money. And that's exactly what they'll do with this as well. They'll put out a karaoke version of this and re-release it again, and then straight onto streaming service. Because it's the only way that they're going to try make, they're making a loss, but if they can make as much money back as they can and then milk it for as much as they can, they will, to try get every cent out that they can. But again, Disney have another flop on their hands. It's another flop for Disney. So, I mean, where do they even go from here? I don't see light at the end of the tunnel for them either. What's after Snow White?
More live action remakes.
Yeah. Probably awful ones.
I think it's game over.
Yeah, well, I think
they're getting sold.
Yeah.
They're getting sold to Apple. It's going to happen.
ABC's going, isn't it?
Yeah,
apparently.
It's going to happen. The Disney brand is going to be. Never thought it happened because Disney bought everybody else out. Now Disney are facing the consequences of decades, and it's not just recently, by the way. This has been decades of bad decisions, and it's got to do with our parks as well. They had some disastrous openings there, and people killed on their rides and stuff like this, and they redesigned these places that weren't doing well, and they'd spend millions on it, and then it'd end up losing. And then they did the Star Wars hotel thing recently, and they lost a shitload of money on that as well. So this is years and decades of bad decisions by CEO after CEO, and finally now they've destroyed it. Going into the streaming services like they did opened them up to a lot, and I don't think they realized what they were doing at the time, but that's why they're in the situation that they're in. And you know what, shouldn't be really laughing. I grew up with Disney, we all did. And I will remember Disney, the old Disney, for what they stood for. And I'll still watch the old Disney stuff. But as far as I'm concerned, this Disney is not the Disney we grew up with. So look, if it falls, it crashes and burns, so be it. That's the way it is. It's their own fault anyway. They could have listened to the consumer. The consumer's been telling them for years where they went wrong. And now Bob Iger, when it's too fucking late, actually admits that they may tone down on
quiet the noise.
Yeah, but it's too late. Too late. Should have been done 3, 4, 5 years ago. Right? So
I know.
Anyway, Gobster's in the chat.
Hello, Gobby.
Hey, Gobby.
Nice to see it. Nice to see it. I do like the Gobster though. That's a good name. I like. Walt Disney and his brothers would be absolutely ashamed of the company as it is today. I agree with you. I don't think, even though they did want to expand the original park and they had plans for other parks, I don't think they wanted to go as big as it is now. And I certainly don't believe that they would have followed the model that they did after Walt Disney died anyway. Disney stopped being Disney when the Walt Disney family was gone.
I was going to say. It was his son's,
Yeah.
wasn't it? He carried it
Roy
on
Disney
after him.
Jr..
So it was
Yeah.
Roy
when
Disney Jr.,
Eisner,
okay.
I don't know who was before
Yeah,
Eisner.
it was when all those guys took over, when they let, exactly. So it's not, it's been gone a while. It's been gone a while. It's just, we stuck by it because they were still making some decent stuff over the years. Not as great as they were back then. I mean, it wasn't, and it hasn't been. But they still made the odd hit, like The Lion King and stuff like that. So, I mean, they were capable of it. And that's why we stuck by them.
Yeah, and I think we stuck by them because now and again they take a chance. They do something that, because they had the brand name and the money, they could almost take a punt. Because that's why I'll always love that first Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Because who would have thought that you could make that movie be as big as they did? Because pirates were dead on cinema. They had been for years. Like, nobody was making swashbuckling movies. They were seen as like, what, even if you ever hear, I think it's the producer, Bruckheimer, talk about them just trying to get the money. They were like told, this is like the worst choice you could make. You're going to lose all this money. Don't go for it. And he actually said, no, I've got something here and I'm going to go for this. And then they took a punt. They cast Depp when he was big, but he wasn't a massive, not like he was after.
I disagree. I disagree on that. See, I know a lot of the younger fans know Johnny from the Pirates, but to us, to an older fan like me, he was a mega star. I mean, you look at some of the movies he was in back in the day, Blow, Edward Scissorhands. These were all mega hits. To us, he was a superstar.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it'd be true to say, Charlotte, that maybe by the time Pirates of the Caribbean came along, his star was kind of on the wane a little bit. I think it was on the wane a little bit, but then that did elevate him even, because he was opened up to a younger audience, like. So,
my generation, who, and I think because he looked nothing like him. He had the costume and the wig and the voice, and he was such a unique character, Jack.
Yeah,
and you'd never seen. And I think there's so much of that movie was genius. The fact that you had him, and then you had Orlando Bloom, who was like pretty boy, classic sort of young boyish, wanting to be the hero.
Yeah, and he was a hot actor at the time. He was in a lot of stuff, so it was great casting at the time. Yeah,
you had. Even though I don't like her, I think she was
Keira Knightley.
Keira Knightley. You needed an English Rose in this sort of movie, and she played that. But the thing that I'll always say is so brilliant about that, and because I've got so to my mum, is how scary. Like, I think we all forget how, for something that was sort of marketed as a fun family adventure, the stuff with the skeletons and the undead pirates, that was proper old-fashioned scare. And I always remember it was on telly, I think. And my mum said, oh, what's this? And it was like halfway through. And I gave her the worst description. I said, oh, it's a Disney movie, not thinking. And she watched the rest of it and afterwards said to me, Charlotte, she said, yes. How on earth was that a Disney movie? That was scary. Like that scene when they're under the water and they turn and they attack the ship. I'm like, oh, that's not a typical Disney scene. No.
It's a Touchstone movie, isn't it? Very much.
Yeah. It was 90s.
Yeah, really, but still, she is right. Disney did take that punt. They put their name on it. I mean, that could have went the other way for them. And Charlotte is right, though. At that time, like, pirates, like, we'd seen enough, especially us older folk. I mean, Jesus Christ, we had Sinbad. Do you remember the Sinbad movies and all? Like, we had proper pirate movies as well. I mean, we grew up with those type of movies and westerns and stuff. Like, they kind of did run their course. But I think Pirates of the Caribbean and the fact that Disney took it did breathe new life into that genre, I believe. It's just a pity that it never really was capitalized on, because I think there's plenty of potential to do, You know, like I'd love to see a new adaptation of Moby Dick. That's a great thing. Did you ever see the old movie of that?
I've
The
seen
old
clips.
movie. Yeah, the old
Patrick
movie
Stewart
is
in it.
brilliant. But could you imagine a big budget movie with someone with like Russell Crowe maybe in the
Oh
lead?
yeah.
Holy shit, man. Christopher Nolan directing.
Oh my
Right.
god, that'd be good.
Doing a Moby Dick movie. I'm telling you. Here, where is fucking Christopher Nolan? Here, I got an idea for you, mate. Fucking hell. Or get Peter Jackson to do it. But
Yeah,
Peter Jackson
but that's
hasn't
what
done that really.
that's what I mean. Disney could go to an old type of movie or something that was popular 5, 10 years ago and have a go and make a success of it. And I can't think of any other studio that would have done that because that's like the mid 2000s Pirates, wasn't it? Was it early 2000s? When was the first Pirates out?
Early 2000s, I think.
Yeah.
Just after Lord of the Rings, because I remember Boom came straight after Lord of the Rings for it, didn't he?
Yes, because Orlando had done Lord of the Rings, that's why he was so popular. Yes, it would have been after.
I'll be back now in just a second. Just give me a second. Just gonna knock off the camera. You just keep talking. I've seen something there. Just give me a second. I have to go and get something. Hold on. I'll be back now.
Wasn't my Crest private chat comments, was it?
No, I don't think so.
Sorry, I'm in that mood
but
at the
like
moment.
I said, and Disney used to have that sense of adventure about it.
They'd always take a punt every once in a while, and if it wasn't successful, they'd just go, "Oh well, we tried," and walk away. But now they're just throwing any old rubbish out, and it just doesn't work.
But I just think now they are so safe with what they do. It's so you can predict before you even watch Disney now, what sort of actors and actresses they're going to have, how certain beats are going to go in the story.
Yeah, I mean, you can literally. I wouldn't say safe now. I'd say it's still too progressive, but it is getting safer, if you know what I mean.
Mm.
But it's just, who do you want to go pay like £10 to go to the cinema and see and sit in a room with other people just to see progressive nonsense? It's like you just don't
or just be told, you value family and certain ideals, and you're bad.
Yeah.
It's like even like if I think back to that original Pirates movie, you had Elizabeth, who started off as like a damsel, and by the end, she was fighting, and she was not the damsel at all.
No, but she had a bite. I mean, she came to the Queen of the Brethren Court in the end.
Yeah, that was a proper progression of a female character. So they can do it. They could do it back then.
She was a female who was obsessed with pirates. That was all the interesting part about her character. She was like almost like a geek.
Yeah, like she kept the necklace, and that's why she got caught. That's why she got taken. Like there were so many little things I just think so clever in that.
Yeah, even in the fifth film, I hate the fourth film, I have to say, but the fifth film I really liked because even the new cast, they still had it going for them. There was one was a scientist who didn't realize she was Barbossa's daughter.
Oh yeah.
And then you got Will Turner's daughter that Jack Sparrow's. Hang on a minute, you're Will Turner's son. You're Will Turner's son, yeah. It was well done. It was better than the last film. I love the way that Jack was down and out and he'd had enough.
Yeah, I think Jack always works better when he's sort of underdog.
Yeah,
he needs to be in that position to work.
Can't be the main character though. That's what ruined the last on Stranger Tides. You tried to make Jack Sparrow the head honcho, and it just kind of ruined the
he doesn't work as that.
No, he's a secondary character. He's a very good secondary character, a brilliant secondary character, but he's a secondary character.
Yeah, he's a good foil, isn't he? That's how he worked in that first movie. You had Will, who was this, like I said, really innocent youth who was like, I hate pirates. And Jack was like, actually, lad, you don't know what a pirate is. And just that sort of dynamic worked.
That's it. It was just the dynamics between the two were brilliant. And even with his son in the fifth film, it was good. There's just no dynamic in the fourth film. It was just boring.
And that's why I do dread the stuff that's floating about what they're going to do with pirates. It's just like, no, no.
I think the female version has already been dismissed though of
Yeah,
Pirates.
fell apart, fell
Because
through.
Margot Robbie was like, she was one of the names mentioned, and then I think she
Yeah.
actually came out and
Karen
dismissed
Gillan as
it.
well.
I thought Karen Gillan,
They're
another
doing
name that
something,
was
aren't they?
mentioned.
I'm sure
I
they're doing
no, I
something.
think apparently the last thing I heard was that Disney were trying to win Johnny Depp back over, but
Wow, that's a
he
lot.
said he
of
wouldn't. He said he wouldn't. He wouldn't do it. I mean, if he does it, I'd be actually delighted for him. But
Yeah.
a lot of people will say, well, he shouldn't really do it when Disney were quick enough to, dismiss him as they did. But they give him a shit ton of money. Why not? I'd say go for it, man. If they're willing to give you everything
Yeah.
to go back and do a movie to try and make the Disney brand successful again, do it. He'd be the one that'd have all the power though, because they'd be the one trying to get him back. So if I were him, I'd just, don't say no straight away. Let's see what Disney are willing to do to get him on board. Like,
Do you know if I was like part of his team, I'd be like, go for a producer credit.
Yeah. EP it.
So then they cannot mess you around.
Yeah. Do you know what I'd say to Johnny? I expect no more than a full documentary about alpaca farming.
On Disney Plus.
Yeah, on Disney.
I don't think he'll personally do it though.
I don't.
No matter what we say, I think that Disney have burnt our bridges with him.
Yeah.
But he will get work again. I mean, there's no doubt he's already been in stuff. He'll get more work, and it'll be Disney's loss. They'll never be able to make Pirates as successful as they did before. The thing about it is what Disney do now. They remake the same stuff, and it's a shadow of itself. So look, Johnny Depp, whether Disney like it or not, is the reason why everybody watched Pirates of the Caribbean. He was Pirates of the Caribbean. It's as simple as that. Without Johnny Depp, there is no Pirates of the Caribbean. So it's either cough up Disney. Well, Johnny might turn you down, and some people say rightly so, and I kind of have to agree with that after the way he's treated them. But if you really want them, well, money is gonna have to do the talking, and you owe him a public apology as well. That's what I would expect. I would expect a big hefty paycheck for each movie and a public apology, and Disney publicly apologizing to Johnny Depp. Right, but they won't do that. So I don't see him going back anyway. I think he has too much pride, and he'd rather do, if there's directors and producers out there that have small movies, I think that's what you're going to see Johnny in now, doing a lot of those independent movies, which he did do before, because he did like doing independent movies anyway, but you'll see him do a lot more of that now, and fair play to him. And he'll still make his money, and he'll still have his fans. Any thoughts on Saw X trailer? I haven't seen it. Oh, hold on. I did see a Saw X trailer, but there's another Saw X trailer. I did like the first trailer, but again, with a lot of these things, you have to be kind of a bit wary. I kind of lost interest in the Saw franchise a long, long time ago. But this one, I will admit, actually looks decent. So I might check it out. But yeah, kind of lost, as I said, interest in that franchise. I mean, but apparently it's gone way, way back or whatever. I thought that's what they already did, but I'll watch it. It must be a way of doing the whole franchise again or something. But again, just goes to show you that Hollywood's running out of ideas if they have to go back to a franchise like Saw. I'm surprised they haven't tried to reboot the Final Destination franchise yet.
Oh, yes.
But I guarantee you that'll be next. That'll be next.
The last one was to create a paradoxical loop, didn't it?
Yeah. But the last one was actually decent. The Final Destination movies are actually all decent movies. I mean, you'll never beat the first one, in my opinion, but the others that came after weren't bad movies at all. They weren't. They actually carried on the story quite very clear. And let's be honest, I mean, the deaths, the stunts got more and more insane as each movie went on. Like, but it was very clever. It was always very clever how it was done. You could tell that they put a lot of effort into each death scene for each character. Like, very well put together. So I don't have a problem with that franchise. The Saw franchise just kind of got a bit, it's the same thing, except it's just more gruesome. I mean, come on, man, get over it. Okay, they fucked up your head, you know. You know what I mean? It was just stupid reasons why he did all of the shit that he did in the four, and it kind of ruined it for me. Now, if Apple can't buy Disney, who do you think will?
Oh, that's
Nobody.
a good question.
Nobody. If Apple don't buy Disney, nobody else is going to come in and buy Disney. Apple will probably just buy it because Apple like to brag, and Apple haven't done anything with their technology in years. They've stagnated, so they've gone into the streaming services to make money. So if they bought it, they'd only be buying it because of that, because they, as I said, the tech side of it, they've completely stagnated. When Steve Jobs died, that was the end of Apple, believe it or not, because he was the brains, right? So they've kind of, what they've done is they've kind of piggybacked off his technology for the last couple of years and added around 15 cameras to an iPhone now and tricked everybody every year. It's the same fucking product with just more cameras and jazzy little tech words. Oh, look what we put in a more RAM and all of that shit. Right, and then as soon as it gets the first update, the phone slows down because they screw you over, right? And then
when you have to charge it, you realise it lasts for about half a day if you're lucky.
Exactly. So fecker. But don't forget, if Apple bid, it will have to go through Congress. Yeah, they do have that stumbling block, but remember, it's Apple. Right, and money, brown envelopes is all I will say.
But Disney's created that monopoly,
right?
You know what I mean?
They listen. It goes into Congress. Companies like Apple will do what companies like Apple do. They will get that through no matter what. And you know what I mean. I have to be careful.
I think Sony wouldn't be a bad bet, actually, Chris. Hello, Chris.
Oh.
They could afford it.
I'm thinking about the parent company of Sony. Like, that's got money.
Well, in fairness, though, Sony has been slowly but surely making some decent movies.
That's what I'm thinking.
And has kind of moved away from the last few movies that they've actually put out are actually very good. Jesus, that would be a good shout, but could you trust Sony? I mean, all right, not trust Sony. I'll put it to you a different way. Would it be too much for Sony to take on the Disney brand?
I think if they started slow, they'd have to. I think, like I said, Chris' idea of them just starting with the Marvel stuff, because they've already gotten in with Spider-Man, and then sort of thinking, right, we've got that set up. What could we do with this part of Disney now, and like really take your time and be careful?
Gobster says,
I've just thought Sony's got an animation branch.
Yeah.
So they could take advantage of the Disney IP for animation.
Could do.
Even if Apple or Sony buy it, won't mean it will get any better. That is true to say that, but if you look at what Apple and Sony have been creating lately, it shows that those two companies in particular have kind of copped on that this woke propaganda doesn't necessarily work, and they have been putting out some good content. Again, though, like Sony or Apple, will they actually have the money to purchase it? How damaged is Disney? I mean,
it depends
how much
it would go for.
Much is, that's what I mean. How much is Disney actually worth right now?
Yeah.
Let's see, actually. I think we can find out on the New York Stock Exchange, can't we?
The share's gone kind of faltering about $80 a share, up just below.
Or what could happen is Disney's not bought as a whole entity. This has been my little theory to myself
Oh
I've
yeah.
had, that it will get broken up piecemeal. So
Yeah.
somebody might buy the Marvel assets, somebody might buy Star Wars, somebody might buy another, and like it's very sort of, because it's so big and so much IP, one person can't handle it. So different companies buy the bits they want and they think they could actually make profit off.
Right. So listen to this because this is interesting. So in 2022, Disney's balance sheet showed a 202 billion in total assets, and it was worth 108 billion, right? But in 2023, its net worth jumped actually to 1,048,000,000. So it's actually gone, their net worth has actually gone up. Now, they do explain it's because of recent acquisitions, and altogether, everything that they bought up is worth 202 billion,
Yeah.
but the company is only worth 108 billion. So that means there's liabilities of 93.25 billion. So the company is actually losing money, and it's losing a shit ton of money. I mean, there's money going down, there's millions going down the drain every second. Like,
God.
it's
Yeah.
that bad.
Yeah, and Gobby, you're right. That's the next big hurdle. This Hulu deal.
Yeah,
How much are they going to have to fork out? That's good.
yeah.
I think that will be the next point where you can properly evaluate the state Disney's in. You can't right now with that Hulu thing still up in the air.
Yeah. Answering TARDIS time, I'd love to see Fox go to Universal, the home of the monster movie, because what they'd do with the Alien and Predator franchise would be amazing.
Yeah, I would love that. That was one of the sort of false starts I was a bit disappointed with Universal. I was like, oh, I actually would like a monster universe.
If you see what they've done with their horror mazes, they do the Alien vs Predator horror maze at Universal Studios.
No, but I've heard their sort of
brilliant
live action event is brilliant.
They had it when I used to do the Alien vs Predator horror maze. They used to have it down to a T. It was brilliant. It's based on Alien vs Predator Requiem. It was absolutely amazing.
No, that like I said, I would love to have had that universe just as something different out in the ether, but obviously they did that terrible Mummy movie, and then it all went.
Oh, who was that written by? Oh.
Yeah, who was that written by?
Yeah, that was a shame because they made a big deal about this new monster franchise that they were gonna do, and the Tom Cruise movie. Now my parents actually like that version of the movie. Now I have to say, but I watched it and I have to say, even though I'm a Tom Cruise fan, it was absolutely awful. I don't know what
best role,
the word. No, not his best. No, definitely not his best. But
best.
I think he'd even admit that. Yeah, we're right. Boy, you're talking about the storm. It's actually, believe it or not, it's stormy outside right now. I actually have the window open. I should probably close it, but but yeah, Storm Agnes is here, so we'll get the brunt of it tonight. So yeah, thankfully the new internet is holding up. When the weather starts going, the internet bloody goes crazy on you, but this one seems to be sturdy enough so far, so I'm actually kind of delighted about that. I like the Brendan Fraser Mummy movies. Yeah, I did as well. They were brilliant because they had Brendan Fraser in.
Yeah. I didn't like the third one. I thought it was going a bit too far.
And the gorgeous,
the
gorgeous Rachel, what's her name? Rachel, what's her face? Yeah, she's bleeding gorgeous. Well, she was gorgeous in the Mummy movies. She still is gorgeous, I mean, but like bleeding hot in those movies. Sorry.
But it was the son in the third movie. He was just insufferable, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah, and they changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they obviously replaced Rachel with the other actress, and she didn't really float me boat.
She came off
Yeah,
like Lara
didn't
Croft,
gel
didn't
really.
she? Came off a bit
Yeah,
Lara
but
Crofty. It's like, what?
there was still some decent moments in that.
Yeah.
Do you think the way we shop now and how this has impacted high street is the same issue with moviegoers' habits? People watch films in other ways now, illegal streaming and other distractions. Well, you can obviously order your food and stuff and all the crap that you need nowadays online. So yeah, I do think that online stuff has affected um the main street shops and stuff. I still support little businesses here as much as I can because
Yeah.
unfortunately they are a little bit more expensive, but we try to support as many small businesses as we can because I think it's important to support those small businesses because they're the ones that keep everything going, really, are the small
Yeah.
businesses, and they're mostly family run as well. So you're helping out a family, and they grow
Yeah.
great stuff and they rear great stock. So, Halton wants you to give him a smile.
I saw.
There you go. The Dark Universe could have worked if it was focused on Gordy and not trying to be Marvel. Exactly, everybody tried to do the Marvel DC model, didn't
Everybody,
they?
yeah.
Yeah.
DC did it as well, crashed.
Yeah. So,
They should
it got
have,
to-
with the universe thing, they should have just really tapped into that. They were that original gothic sort of vibe, but they weren't really
Yeah.
actiony. And it was like, no,
Yeah.
you shouldn't have gone action focused.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait for the new Godzilla movie. Have you seen that -1, that Godzilla -1
No.
movie? I think there was a small little teaser trailer and then they put out a poster for it. And then there's an Apple TV show as well doing the Monarch. Is it a Monarch? I'm not 100% up on all the lore of Godzilla, but they're doing a TV show on it as well. And Godzilla featured in that as well. And it looked absolutely brilliant. It looked huge as well. So there's two Godzilla related stuff coming out that I'm really, really interested in. Because that's another thing that kind of pissed me off. They wanted to do this Godzilla versus Kong thing, and they did the Kong, the Skull Island. That wasn't really great. I don't think it was decent, but it wasn't a great movie. And then the Godzilla movie was a bit, again, it was a decent movie, but just it was missing something. So it didn't quite really achieve what I wanted with them. But I still did enjoy them. I'm not going to lie. I did enjoy them, but I just thought they could have been better. But I have to tell you, that Godzilla -1, oh my God. Seriously, man. I'm not usually a Godzilla fan, but I've always liked the 90s movie, even though it's slated. I don't care. I like that movie. Don't give a shit what anybody says, right? It's ridiculous, but I love it. But I've always had a fascination with Godzilla. It's just, I've watched the old movies. Don't get me wrong. I've watched all those old movies. I mean, they're great. For what they were great. But I think with today's technology and all we have, it's just something about, it's like the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk. I don't think the Incredible Hulk works as a standalone movie, but as part of an ensemble cast, which we've seen, works much better. I kind of have the same feeling when it comes to Godzilla, because maybe it's because they've never done a decent version, but this -1, even the little teaser trailer they gave us for it, holy shit, it blew me away. And then I saw the trailer for the Apple TV show that they're doing, and I was like, are they actually doing decent stuff now? Is this what we got to look forward to? We're actually going to get some decent entertainment, because I'm down for that. I'm down for that. Yeah.
I was going to say, is Legendary making it? Because they had something to do with Godzilla. I don't know if they've still got any rights to it.
I don't know. The -1 movie, I think, is a Japanese production. I think it's a Japanese production, though. I haven't a clue.
Toei, isn't it? It's Toei.
Is it?
It'd be, the original Japanese would be Toei.
Toei, yeah. Toho's the
Gobstar will tell us, because he's the expert. He has all the movies. He'll be able to tell you who's involved in it. But that -1, Seriously, man. I would have loved to see the sequel to the '98 movie. Seriously, I don't know. I don't get why people hate that movie. Maybe it's because I don't understand or know the origins of Godzilla, right? That's fair enough, right? I'll admit that. I'm not a fan, as I said, but I did love the movie. And I love it with Godzilla because I love monsters. Like, I aren't with King Kong or aren't like that Godzilla. I'll give it a go because I like all that monsters. That's why I like the Planet of the Apes movies as well. The fact that apes, you know what I mean, they're taking over the planet. I love all of that shit. But if you give me a decent movie to watch, like they did with the Planet of the Apes franchise, I'll watch it. And I love the original franchise, by the way. I mean, and the ill-fated TV show. Like, watched them all. Like, recently over the months. So there you go. Yeah, you are right, PD, about who's making Godzilla -1. So there you go.
Yeah.
The original, let me see, they all the rights and are involved in the series. And the new film, so they're connected. Oh, that's brilliant then. That's well then that's good. I like that. I absolutely like that. I can't wait to see the two of them, man. That's my TV now. That's my TV set up now for the next couple of months.
Toho, their name means swordplay.
It's Toei, Legendary. They're the distributor. I thought they had something to do with the movies because, like, Legendary is another one that, like, they're the John Wick people, so they know you need to suit your audience. You need to play to your core group of fans. Like the John Wick movies, I'm not my cup of tea, but everybody who's into action I know adores those movies. So Legendary also, like I said, I think I agree with you. I think it's been a slow process, not lying. But I think the studios are starting now to go, do you know what? We've got a property. Let's not try and market to a completely new audience. Let's just play to the audience we actually have embedded and actually adore this property for what it is.
Yeah.
So there you go. It's explained though. So Toho makes the Japanese Godzilla movies, while Legendary makes the Western Godzilla movies. But they seem to be kind of blending. Even the Western movies, they're kind of trying to stick to the source material now. I've noticed that over the years now. Whereas, like the '98 movie, they kept it like an Americanized version of it. But you have seen with the Western movies that they are actually trying to make them more the way they should be made. You know, I mean, like it's a Japanese property, so you should have fucking Japanese people in that fucking movie, and that's what they did with the latest movies. As I said, I'm not slating the Godzilla movie. I liked it. I was just expecting a little bit more. Same with Skull Island. I liked the movie, but I was just expecting a little bit more from it. Maybe I just had me expectations way too high.
Yeah.
But that -1, I'm not messing. I just sat there transfixed on the screen and I was blown away by that little teaser. I mean, teasers don't do that. They're not supposed to blow you away. They're supposed to.
They subverted your expectations.
Give you a little teaser. That's what it is. But this teaser, I was like, holy shit! Right, when is it out? Straight away. Started to see when this thing was out.
Hey, Gobby.
Bye, Gobby. Thank you for dropping by.
So they do talk to each other, says Gobby. Are the right holders. So they do have communication with each other, and Gobby has to go. So we'll say goodnight to you, sir. Thank you for popping in. We appreciate it, Gobby. Did you expect King Kong to pick
that could also be, I've noticed, I don't know if you guys have, like, because Hollywood is very clearly, like we've all said, it's running out of ideas, so it's going to everybody else. And for the last couple of years, it has looked to the east, to Japan, to these sort of other hot spots. And I've noticed a lot more actual Japanese when it's their product being made, whereas 10 years ago, they might have not got involved as much. Now they seem to be a lot more, no, I'm going to actually make sure you keep to my material and the source of it, and I'm not going to let you westernize it too much.
About time, because they should be made the way They should be made. And this is what I'm talking about. If Hollywood went down that route, we wouldn't be having the discussions that we're having. If you do a Godzilla movie the way it's supposed to be done, as Gobby said, they've made it, and they have made more of an effort. You could see it, that they are. Continue down that route. You know, there is an audience for these movies. There is an audience for stories like that, and you can open up the world and the rest of your audiences to these wonderful stories and creations. You know? So it's there for them
Very
if they
interesting
want
stuff
to.
in Japan. Very interesting
Yeah.
stuff. Interesting
Yeah.
stories. They love them. They got One Piece at the moment. That's doing really well.
Oh,
I haven't watched it, but it's on my list because everybody keeps talking about it. But I've got other shows that and I got a movie recommendation as well from Lee. So I'll have to watch the movie first because I'm pretty sure he's going to ask me about it to make sure that I actually watched it.
That's pirates.
That's
as
what
well.
we do.
One Piece.
But that's what we do with each other. Like I'll say, you watch the movie. Yeah, I watched it. So what did you think of blah 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 blah? Just to make sure that he's watched it. So he'll do the same with me. So I'll have to watch the fucking movie. But apparently it's one of the best alien movies that he has seen in a long, long time. So I'll report on it on Friday and let you know what I think about it. And yeah. Oh, tomorrow Movie Zone, and there's a poll. So go in, community section tab, just before I forget. 3 movies: The Goonies, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and Short Circuit. Go in, vote for your favourite. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m, we're doing the winner, whatever the winner is. Actually, I'll be announcing the winner. Actually, no, I'll be announcing the winner after this stream's over. What am I talking about? We have to announce it the night before. Right? So we'll be finishing up now shortly. So you've got a couple of minutes there. So get in there and vote in the community. Let's see what the result is so far. Let's see. It was a landslide for the Goonies, obviously.
What version?
Well,
PG version or 15 version?
Oh, I'm just watching the version that I have available to me, so I'll let everybody know. That's the only way I could do it. I don't know what version I'm watching. But let me see. I'm pressing the wrong buttons on this bloody phone. Here we go. So right now, 35 votes. Get in, get your asses in there now. Community tab. I want to see that change while I'm doing the results. So in last place, it's kind of swapped around a little bit there. So last place, Short Circuit with 17%. I'm actually surprised about that. 29% in second place is Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Kind of disappointed. I was hoping people would pick up, even though I do love the Goonies, and I'm not going to lie, right? But with 54% and winning by a landslide right now, and I don't think it's going to be caught. So I think it's safe to say that tomorrow night's movie is going to be the Goonies, and Chris knows which version it is. So there you go. Because Chris will be here tomorrow. And as far as I'm aware, because I asked him last week, I think Real Super Doctor will be joining us as he used to back in the day for the Movie Zone. And what a movie for him to come back to if it is. Well, it will be the Goonies, because I don't think that's going to change by the time we finish. Noel, I watched the new trailer for Sci-Fi Show That Shall Not Be Named. Yeah, I haven't bothered. I don't really. I mean, I was busy anyway when the trailer was on. I think I was streaming. I really.
Yeah, it was Saturday, so you probably was.
Yeah. I really have no interest. I was either watching the United match or I was streaming eFootball, but I've really no interest. I have ignored all of the noise. I just have other things to be worrying about than a TV show that, has made it clear it doesn't want me as a fan. So I've moved on. It's as simple as that. But if you enjoyed it, well done. If you didn't, sorry about that, but don't give two rats' asses, to be quite honest with you. The trailer that I did watch was the new Rick and Morty trailer, because that's what I'm interested in. and that dropped with the new voice actors who sound exactly the same. So that was my hesitation with that, because they got rid of the co-creator because he was accused of all sorts of stuff, and then it turned out he was innocent but didn't get his job back anyway though. But they replaced him with new voice actors, and it turns out the voice actors are spot on. So
Yeah, because they're using AI.
that's what I watched. Yeah. So no difference. Absolutely fantastic. But whether it'll be good or not, I'm still debating whether I'll watch it or not, because you get rid of someone that you shouldn't have got rid of because he was found to be innocent. I don't know, but we'll see. But
I'm done with it. That's me.
But I did enjoy the trailer. Though. But this trailer was slightly different because you kind of, with every Rick and Morty trailer, you kind of get the gist of what's going to happen in the upcoming season. This particular trailer was very disjointed. So it's going to be interesting now that one of the co-creators is gone and which direction this show is going to go in, to be quite honest with you. So I might give it a go for that reason, but I'm not holding out any hope. I think it's been on the decline since series 3, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's when what's his name, Mike McMahon, and the other character went off to Marvel, ruined it. They got fired.
So there you go. A joke to make Charlotte smile.
Yeah, because it's Holton. She's because I've got no interest in Rick and Morty. It's not my cup of tea.
Yeah. That's because we all have different tastes. There you go. Anyway, we will wrap it up there tonight because Storm Agnes is rearing its ugly head, and I don't want to, start going out, because we've had a good stream tonight. So so we'll end the poll. Well, you can't end the poll on these. I don't think you can actually. No, you can't end the poll, but the poll has ended now, and nobody else voted. So thank you for that. Still has 24 votes. So well, the 11 people watching, these didn't bother. So that's great. Anyway, the result is the Goonies. So we will be watching the Goonies tomorrow night from 8 o'clock. Come and join us. Get your copy of the movie ready. Whatever, dust off your DVD player, your Blu-ray player, whatever console you're using, and come and join us. What we do is we'll do a little countdown. We all press play together. We watch the movie while myself and my guest will be talking.
Yeah.
Of course, we'll have Chris with us, who joins us for all the movie streams, and he'll be in the chat giving his opinion about the movie as well. It's a movie that we all grew up with. It's a movie that makes us all feel good, and it has some lovely moments in it as well. So I am actually looking forward to that movie, I've got to be honest. So come and join us for the Goonies tomorrow. Yay, Chris is all happy. Look, Chris is all happy that it's the Goonies. So come and join us tomorrow for that. That's what I have for you. And then on Friday, of course, we have Friday Night Contact, and I'll have a couple of member streams as well. Join me for that. And as you have noticed, I have been I've been putting videos up on Rumble, new videos up on my new Rumble account. If you go to the link on the YouTube channel, you'll see the links there. It's got the new link to the new Rumble channel, because I had to get rid of the old one because it wouldn't let me change the name because it was the Tarda Zone. So I had to remake a channel. So it's there. Go and support me over there. Of course, we'll be talking to all things Irish over there. So if you want to catch me on Rumble, I'm over there on the Noel Zone as well. We've got Noel Zone Gaming, where I do regular gaming streams right now. We're into eFootball 24, so we're doing a little bit of that. And of course, on match days, Manchester United fan here, Noel the Red Devil, get over there for a live match reactions, and that's me done, and that's a mouth fucking full, isn't it?
Yeah.
Probably taking on a lot, but so far everything's good, and I'm taking me rest when I need a rest, so I'm not overextending, if you know what I mean. But I'm enjoying being this busy, so support me on all the platforms because I'll be around, folks. So, we'll keep that going. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now because that was a mouthful. And I'm going to hand you over to Queen Charlotte.
Yep, so Type 40, we are doing our live streams on Thursdays, so you'll catch me tomorrow. I think it's just going to be a general news one, from what I can tell, because we sort of had the big event one last week, and we had our big trailer reaction. So actually can't remember when we did it now because my memory's gone, but we did a trailer, we did a stream talking about the new trailer, dissecting it, going over screenshots and the bits and we liked and bits we didn't. So catch me there, but you'll also catch me on Mondays because we do 2 live streams now on Type 40 Live, so Mondays and Thursdays. And you'll catch me pop up now and again on the podcast. So you'll catch me basically Type 40 around and about, and here on Wednesdays.
Fantastic goal. PD!
Okay, you'll normally find me in Rabbi's chat when I'm not working, so you'll find me there. And sometimes I do appear on Dan's, but mostly I'm here. And do go support our good friend Gobby and our good friend Jack Main if he's still our friend. I don't know because I've been around for 2 weeks.
Fantastic. Yes. Go and support those motherfuckers. And support Daniel. Scottish Daniel some friends wrestle with pop culture. Woo!
You did it.
Anyway, no. There, Garrett in one go. Yeah, go and check out Daniel's channel. He will be back. He has informed me that he will be back with some Pez streams and some wrestling and other topics and stuff that he's been covering. So go and check out Daniel's channel. Keep it very busy there. And the Gobster, of course, knocking out the videos as usual. Go and check out his channel. And of course, as we said, Jack as well. And Type 40 is in there as usual. The usual suspects, you know who they are by now. If you don't, where have you been living? Have you been hiding under a rock? If you have, or you have had your head buried in the sand, it's time to take it out of the sand now. Subscribe to all those wonderful people. And yeah, Halton has to bring up the fact that Man United is struggling.
Just before we go.
Well, we have won 2 games in a row, and we're going to win the weekend as well. Then we're going to win our Champions League game, and then crisis is over. Then all the rival fans are going to be crying again. Because, they'll be waiting for us to lose the next time. Because I think that's great about rival fans is that no matter how shit Manchester United do, we live inside rivals' heads 24/7, rent-free. So that's our consolation. There is, But a new dawn is coming. And by January, this club will be owned by someone else. And we'll wipe the smile off every single fan's face when we dominate England for the next 20-odd years. So I'm off now. Bye-bye. I'm off to play a bit of e-football as Manchester United. That's what I'm doing. I'll have I'll Danny Boy in the chat and Cinnamon. They always pop in. And Matthew Pounder has also been popping in as well while I've been doing my football streams. So, and Tim giving PD a shout out there for throwing up all the channels as he always does. That's what PD does. Yep. And he has done. He gets everybody up. And that's what it's all about. Anyway, we'll say good night to you. Enjoy our evening. Look out for streams on the other channels. I'll inform you anyway if you are on Twitter when those streams are coming. We'll have a Rumble stream in between that as well. So look out for all of those. We'll say good night for now. See you later. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Did I press the button? Ah, there we go. Takes about 15 hours. It's a plane. I haven't got a clue what's going on here.
It was playing.
You were talking over it playing.
It's not my fault. The screen. Look, I'm gonna knock the camera, and we're gonna try that again.
Consummate
Right?
professional.
Because you know what? As I tell you, every time I come on here, I put these motherfuckers in, and I have the camera on. This is what happens. The trailer doesn't play for me, so I don't know whether the trailer is playing or not. I sound like a gobshite because I'm literally there. Is it playing? Is it playing? This is YouTube trying to make a fool out of me. Anyway, here goes the camera. Fingers crossed this time. I look like a fucking serial killer there, look.
Yeah, you're frozen. So you really do. There we go.
There we go.
Now it's playing. Oh my god.
Playing on yours, it's not playing on mine.
I was going to say it's not playing on my end. Oh, it was going so well.
Oh,
And now
no,
we've
it's
lost
gone.
him.
No, oh dear, we're stuck. Okay, bear with us, everyone. We had this before with Gary.
Yeah, we used
There
to
we go.
be left in a void, PD, aren't we?
Yeah, Gary knows that one.
I'm sorry,
Oh.
this doesn't look professional, does it? It's not my fault, I promise you, right? I'm using a fucking tablet, whatever you want to call it, that is about 15 or 20 years old now at this fucking stage, right?
That's
I've got a
what
camera.
it will be.
I've got my mic plugged in, right? So everything is going haywire. So we're going to try that again now because I've knocked the camera out, right? So here we go. Take 2. Good night, folks.
Right.
Enjoy the rest of our week. And if you're living in Ireland, look out for Storm Agnes. She's here to take your possessions away. Bye-bye.